Offensively, the Bo Davis thing stings. Grant, you've been out there, or have you been on practice since Kyle Williams has come along? And if so, what is the D
Yeah.
tackle situation been looking like?
Okay, yeah. So I will get to all that, but as we start talking more and more about the spring football. But yeah, I started going out there. What was the second? I couldn't go the first week because, of course, for Chris City Sports, I cover a lot of high school sports, especially in the New Orleans area. So I was actually in Lake Charles for the boys' state basketball championships, where, of course, ironically, I was seeing Elijah Hayden, yes, the number one player in the country for the class of 2027, also plays basketball. So I was able to see him play some hoops. And then also Javon Vidal, who got offered from LSU, from Hamilton Christian. He's also a guy that's going to somebody's going to be high on LSU's priority list come next year, because they're both going to be juniors next year. But yeah, the defensive line group, they look great. Kyle Williams is entering a great situation because Bo Davis really revitalized that the interior defensive line, right? Because remember, he was the defensive tackles coach. Kevin Peoples coaches the defensive ends, but on the interior defensive line, there's a lot more depth, a lot more size, a lot more talent compared to the one that Bo Davis took over. So, and also Kyle Williams is a great coach. Kyle Williams, of course, is a former LSU great, a former NFL great. He went to the Pro Bowl, I believe, 5 or 6 times with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, he was the best player on the Buffalo Bills when they were bad, right? Like, he played for them when they were bad. His last year there, I think, was the first time they've been in the playoffs since '99, right? Like, I was a few months.
Josh Allen Bills, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, what's his name? EJ Manuel and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah. You name it. So that I think he went through a lot of different quarterbacks, man. But anyway, but yeah, Kyle Williams not only was a great player, of course, at both the collegiate and pro level, but he's also was the defense coordinator at Ruston High School. I know high school, a lot of people are like, well, it's high school. Why does that matter? Well, when he's the defense coordinator at Ruston, they arguably had the best defense in the state of Louisiana. I know this because I saw this firsthand. And of course, I cover a lot of high school sports. And he developed a lot of guys who ended up playing at the Division I level, including Ahmad Bro. He was Ahmad Bro's position coach when they were both at Ruston. Aiden Anding was a starting cornerback. Anding, Zach. And this also goes for people who may not know this, but Aiden Anding really didn't play much football before his junior year. And then he burst on the scene his junior year, and then became one of the better top quarterbacks in the country. He was a basketball player, actually. He was a hooper before he became a football player. So, and they're both developed under Kyle Williams. So yeah, like, of course, it sucks to lose Bo Davis, but you bring in a guy who's familiar with the program. He's a legend in the LSU football community, or LSU community in general. A guy who was a dog from first-hand accounts, who were teammates with him and coached him, whatever. But then also he knows how to handle these young guys, and that's very important, especially we're dealing with a different age of college football. We're dealing with the NIL era. We're talking about the transfer portal era. So you bring in the guy who knows how to handle, Gen Z. I'm Gen Z, but of course the guys we're talking about are on the younger end of Gen Z. So it's just a different caliber of kid than 5-10 years ago. And also they're able to make money compared to players in the past. So I think that bringing in a guy like Kyle Williams will definitely help out the defensive line. I don't know how great of a defensive line coach he will be at the collegiate level. From what I can gather, and what he's done so far as a coach, even though it's high school, he's done a great job. But and the thing is also, which is also very important too, Zach, is that he's a Louisiana guy. Every single coach on the coach staff.
So is Bo Davis, but yeah.
Yeah. So and including Bo Davis, even when Bo Davis on the staff, when Brian Kelly hired last year's staff, he made sure every single guy was either A, went to LSU, B, is from Louisiana, or C, has ties to Louisiana in some way. And some of those coaches nailed all three, right? So he's just continuing
Raymond.
what he already did. Let's just bring in Kyle Williams, a guy who's a North Louisiana guy, right? It's important to bring in somebody from North Louisiana because you want to make sure you get South and North. You want to create a wall around Louisiana. And, of course, I know that's kind of ironic because Bradford just committed to Ohio State, which we'll talk about later in the show. But that's his whole goal. He wants to do what Nick Saban did. He wants to make sure no one comes in the state and just takes kids away. And I think Brian Kelly learned from his mistakes early during his time at LSU, which was to make sure you get guys who are from Louisiana who can relate to not only the players here in the state of Louisiana, but also know the high school coaches. Because a lot of times these coaches actually know their coaches because either they played against them or recruited from them in the past. That's very important when you're at a place like LSU.
And do you think maybe it's I don't want to say calculated risk, and I don't mean to sound insulting toward Kyle Williams, but do you think because he hasn't coached college before, you run less of a chance of losing him within a year or two? Because that defensive tackle coaching position, that's been a revolving door for 8-10 years now, or just one after another, after another, after another. And I don't get that risk of what if Kyle Williams leaves for a bigger job? I don't get that feeling from him.
No, and that's the thing. A lot of people thought that was going to happen with Bo Davis. That's why they hired Bo Davis to bring his stability. I don't think anybody expected Bo Davis to leave for the. Because here's the thing: if it was it's my thing. If it were another NFL, let's say it was the Green Bay Packers, I don't think he would have taken the job. The reason why I say that is because you're probably already still living in Baton Rouge.
They tried so hard to get him home.
Right, and then it's and then Saints are right down the road. And also remember, his son goes to Southeastern, and so he's right down the road. I think it's still he wants to stay. Oh, I'm gonna say he's not from Louisiana, but of course he is at LSU. His son's currently going to Southeastern, and it's not that hard of a move, right? It's not like you move from one state to another. You're just moving an hour down I-10. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that bad of a move. I think if it was any other job, could he leave? Oh yeah, of course. But I think it would be less likely of a chance that he left. But it just happened to be the New Orleans Saints. They're right down the road. It's an easy move, and these coaches are tired of moving. And I know this because I'm the son of a college football coach. So eventually, not only do the coaches get tired of moving, but the families get tired of moving. I think so. I think that's something you have to factor in. But yeah, Kyle Williams I think that was also a huge factor. Kyle Williams is not going to leave for another job unless it's like a defense coordinator job, right? I mean, I think
unless he really blows up, which would be great if he blew up this year.
Yeah,
that means LSU had success up front. So
definitely. And that a huge component of Russ's defenses were up front, right? He was the defense coordinator at Ruston High School. So hopefully that could translate to the collegiate level. I hope so. But I still think, is it the greatest hire in the world? No. But it's somebody you're like, oh, I like this hire. This could be it. This is interesting. I like this. Let's roll with it. Right. That's the kind of hire he was. So, let's roll with it. And he knows the program. He knows the people. He's a Louisiana guy. He developed Ahmad Bro, and Ahmad Bro is a starting defensive tackle for you.